Welcome, and thank you for joining us to learn more about careers that make a difference as we celebrate Careers in Aging Week 2023. My name is Jenna Kellerman, and I'm the Director of Workforce Strategy and Development with LeadingAge. And I'm here today with Christy Kramer, Vice President of Student Engagement and Workforce Partnerships at LeadingAge, Burrell Bannerman, Administrator at Human Good, and Karina Perez. She is a Master's in Health Administration candidate at Columbia University. Over the next few minutes, we'll share with you information about all of the job opportunities that exist in the field of aging, the advancement opportunities available within the sector, and stories from both Burrell and Karina's career pathways to inspire you to learn more. So let's start by exploring the different types of opportunities within the field of aging. There are many different settings where aging services take place. In a nursing home, assisted living, independent senior housing, home care in a person's home, adult day services, and hospice care. Those different settings offer very different experiences for staff. For example, in a nursing home, staff are often working in teams, in interdisciplinary teams, and often have a lot of colleagues around them and are caring for older adults who typically require a higher level of care. In an independent senior apartment building, there may be a really small team of staff available who are providing limited support to older adults, and often those older adults are renting an apartment and living independently. In home care, staff often work by themselves, going into the homes of people in the community to provide support for designated amounts of time. Many of these settings also provide a large variety of different job opportunities. People tend to think that nursing homes and assisted livings only employ nurses, and that is far from the truth. Although nursing is a wonderful and high-demand career pathway in these organizations, they also employ people with a variety of skills. I like to think of it as a small town. In a small town, they probably have a clinic, a restaurant, a bank, a school, fun things to do in the community, and the same is true in many aging services settings. These settings need administrators to oversee the day-to-day operations of the business, finance staff to oversee accounting, budgets, billing. They need culinary staff to provide meals, manage coffee shops, plan menus. They need information technology staff to manage the healthcare technology systems and devices used. They need life enrichment staff to plan meaningful activities. So things like taking older adults out to the theater or the casino or shopping, planning parties, going to Apple Orchard. Anything you do for fun, they probably also do for fun. Organizations need service coordinators who are often social workers, but not always. Those team members typically help make care plans that help keep residents healthy, connected, and engaged. They need human resources staff to hire and onboard new team members. They need nurses, of course, to manage the clinical needs of residents and caregivers to manage the overall care, grooming, and activities of daily living of residents. They need marketing and communication staff to write newsletters, web content, manage social media, to give tours to prospective residents, and many, many more opportunities. So that might be a lot more than you imagined. In addition to the many different jobs, each job in the field of aging has a really exciting growth opportunity. So to give you a couple of examples, you can take a look at the screen and look at the different pathways that exist. If you take a peek at that top line of orange boxes, you can see that you may begin as a caregiver in a clinical pathway. And depending on the setting, you may need a certification to provide care as a nursing assistant, or you may work in a setting that's able to train you on the job. And from there, you can work towards additional certificates or licenses to become a trained medication aide, a licensed practical nurse, a registered nurse, a clinical executive. There's a lot of different advancements you can make in that clinical pathway. If you're interested in becoming a chef, as another example, you can take a look at that blue line of boxes. Here, you might be able to start as a host or a hostess, then move into a server role, become a line cook, a sous chef, an executive chef. So there's a lot of different advancement in culinary as well. And what's great about all these opportunities is that you can jump from one type of work to another. So if you start as a culinary worker, but realize you're really interested in caregiving, you can make that leap. In my own pathway, I started out in business development in senior care, and then I switched into more of a marketing and service coordination role. Then I became the director of an assisted living where I was overseeing the daily operations and the care of nearly 200 older adults. And now I work on building the workforce pipeline in the aging services sector. So there's a lot of variety in the different roles available. So what's your passion? Is it technology? Is it social media? Is it helping others, cooking or baking or fundraising? We have a place for you in the field of senior services. So let's talk to a couple of emerging leaders in the field of aging to learn more about their stories. Christy, can you introduce us to Burrell and Karina?
Absolutely. I'm really excited to have with us two of our former Summer Enrichment Program interns. We have Karina Perez, who is here with us, and she is a Master's of Health Administration candidate at Columbia University right now, and Burrell Bannerman, who is working with Human Good in the Philadelphia region. So thank you both for coming and for being willing to share your experiences today. First question I'm going to ask, and I'll see if maybe Karina, you can start off with this. What inspired you to want to work in aging services?
Yeah, so before entering aging services, I knew that I wanted to work with a population that was considered to be underserved and has not received as much awareness as they should. So while the aging population was already considered to be underserved and even a vulnerable population, I noticed during the COVID-19 pandemic that there was just an extreme burden that this population faced. So I was applying to MHA programs during my undergrad, thinking more about what kind of field I wanted to work in. And I was drawn to the aging population. There's just so much energy and light from the residents that I worked with last summer, and it just made me feel more strongly about working in this particular field.
That's excellent. Thanks, Karina. Burrell, how about you?
For me, I would say it started with SEP. So when I was getting my master's in health administration at Penn State, I was just browsing. And at first, I'm not going to lie, aging services was not the most glorious. However, I was helpless for an internship. And I don't have any regrets with starting SEP. And just my experience at my internship definitely sealed the deal. And it's still the reason why I'm in the field today.
Well, thanks. I'm glad to hear that summer enrichment program really helped. So, Burrell, what are you doing today? So you graduated with your Master's of Health Administration, and now you're working on Human Good. So tell everyone a little bit about your position, kind of like what day in the life of your position is like, and then maybe a little bit about how your education helped you get to where you are today.
Yeah, so currently I'm an administrator with Human Good at Witherspoon Senior Apartment. So it's a 61 bed unit independent living for seniors or older adults who are 62 and above. And I also have two people under me, so a resident service coordinator and then a maintenance tech. And my day-to-day looks different every single day. I've adjusted and learned to that because no 2 days are the same. I can walk in and it can be calm, or I can walk in and there's several things that I need to do. However, regardless of the day, I still enjoy doing my job because before I came here, I just knew that I wanted to work on serving the older population and then hitting those health disparities and social determinants of health. And I know that each and every day, any duty that I do is to seal the deal with that. So I'm glad to be here. I don't have any regrets, and I can't wait to move up in the field even more.
Yes, and we can tell you're at work right now. You probably have lots of people looking for you as we speak. So thank you.
I know my blinds are currently closed, and I told people it's blocked off. Actually, my office is closed for administrative duties, but I still get interrupted. So that's also a day-to-day thing, a part of the job.
There you go. We get to see your day-to-day there. Well, great. Thank you, Burrell. That's a really interesting position that you were able to get after your graduation. So thanks. Karina, you're currently in the process of getting your Master's of Health Administration. And you kind of mentioned a little bit about what your plans are. What are you going to do after you graduate from Columbia?
Yes, just so at the end of my internship last summer, I received an offer from Asbury Communities to continue working as an administrator in training. And I'm super excited to start. I start at the end after graduation this year. And this will lead to me obtaining my license in nursing home administration. But I'm still more than happy to help out with LeadingAge any way I can, just showing opportunities available with students. But I'm very excited about these next steps I'm going to take.
Great. So Karina's going to go off and get her licensed nursing home administrator, and Burrell, you'll be continuing on in your role as an administrator for now. So that's great. We're really excited to have you guys and be that successful and so far in our aging services pathway. So quickly, before we conclude, what would you guys both want students to know about aging services? Burrell, do you have any words of wisdom to share?
What would I prefer to hear when I was a master's student? I guess is to like step out of your comfort zone and try things that you would probably be uncomfortable doing. Because like I said, for me personally, to be transparent, it wasn't the most glorious thing, but I wanted something different from what I was used to. And I know with my program, they focused a lot on like hospitals, and they didn't focus that much on like nursing homes and independent living and what have you. So my number one advice would be to step out of your comfort zone, because you never know where you would end up.
Thanks, Burrell. How about you, Karina? What would you like students to know about aging services?
Yes, I have a similar answer, but yeah, I just want to say like there's so much to do here. I mean, while I'm interested in nursing administration, I mean, I just want to be clear that that's not what aging services is like restricted to doing. It's not just this career path. As Jenna said earlier, there are so many opportunities to work in different areas, like maybe health policy, finance, marketing. Like there's so many other ways to contribute. And I mean, I think aging services is truly a rewarding field to work. I know it's definitely different. I know it's a lot of work, but I think it can be a rewarding experience. So I would love for students to come in with an open mind, and I'm certain they can find success here anywhere, really.
Oh, thank you guys. Well, I have to thank you both for taking time out of your busy days to share this information with us. I'm going to hand it back over to Jenna now.
Yeah, thank you so much, Burrell and Karina, for sharing your stories. Your passion is really inspiring, and we are so lucky to have you in the field of aging. I hope our listeners are interested in making a difference in the lives of older adults as well. There really are so many opportunities in this field, and you can work each day knowing that you're making a difference. If you're interested in learning more, please be sure to check out LeadingAge's Summer Enrichment Program, which both of these wonderful women were a part of, the careers page at leadingage.org. Or even just heading to Indeed or whatever your preferred job search engine is and searching for nursing home or assisted living jobs or whichever job title you heard today that was most interesting to you. So thank you so much for listening, and happy Careers in Aging Week.